So no doubts about the big game in the Premier League this weekend. The Manchester derby at 5:30 on Saturday evening. City needing the win to keep pace with Liverpool in the race for the title, whilst United picked up a big win in midweek against Tottenham to keep their top four hopes alive. Bit of a double-edged sword for them. They don't want Liverpool to win the title, but of course they'll be desperate to get one over on their local rivals. I've got James who will be arguing the case for the home side, Manchester City, and Tom will be talking up an away win for United. The first round then is who will come out on top. City, strong favourites at 3-10 to win this game. You can get a massive 9-1 on Manchester United, whilst the draw is 9-2. And James, tough to look past Manchester City. The form hasn't been brilliant of late, but they won both meetings last season and they won in midweek. Yeah, well, that's it. You mentioned there they had the measure of their rivals last season, so there's still that sort of that mental edge that they've got on them. You look at their form at the Etihad Stadium as well. It's only 2 defeats and the last 38 at home in all competitions. It's an outstanding record. Yes, they've had their little blips recently, but they have had their injury problems across the season. Defensively is the big one, but they managed to come through some of the matches. I mean, they had a 4-1 victory against Burnley last time out there, so they come into this game full of confidence. And to be honest, I just can't see the red side of Manchester coming out on top. And what about United then? Big win in midweek against Tottenham. Played quite well in that game, but their form on the road this season has been a little patchy, United, Tom.
Yeah, it has been, although there have been 1 or 2 decent wins in there. They beat Chelsea in the League Cup at Stamford Bridge. And James mentioned there, City sometimes getting over the line with their defensive problems. Not all the time. You can argue they drew away at Newcastle last weekend. Newcastle are a slightly poor opposition than Manchester United are. Certainly 1 or 2 other questionable results. They've lost at Wolves at home this season. And Manchester United are actually in better form than a lot of people are giving them credit for. 1 defeat in 6, 2 in 11. That shows a level of consistency. That victory against Spurs as well, really impressive. Important for morale as well amongst the squad. They can believe now they can take on and beat their top 6 rivals. And 9-1, that is such tempting odds for Manchester United away from home.
Yeah, when do you ever get 9-1 on Manchester United to win? But you can't look past City for me, so I'm going to give the first round to James. Moving on to round 2 then, player bets. Now these two have both got strikers who grabbed a brace in midweek. Gabriel Jesus on target twice against Burnley. Is he the man you're going to pick out for this particular round?
He certainly is. I've gone for the Brazilian again. Like you said, he got a brace against the Clarets. He's evens to score any time, which I think is a massive price. Now, he hasn't always done it at home, on home soil as Jesus, but I just think at the moment he's just in a different kind of level, a different sort of confidence. He's come in for the injured Sergio Aguero. Now, we have seen it in previous seasons where Jesus has been thrown in and Guardiola hasn't been that happy with him. He's gone for different approaches. He's brought, someone like Sterling through the middle, but I just think Jesus is got the confidence of the manager, he's got the backing of him, and I think he'll be able to take that form from the victory over Burnley into this game.
And what about you, Tom? Marcus Rashford will lead the line again. No Anthony Martial. He scored twice in midweek against Tottenham. Is he the man you're picking out for this one?
You can't look beyond Marcus Rashford. 12-5 to score any time. This is a man who's netted 10 goals in his last 10 games for club and country, including that brace against Tottenham during the week. And, he could have had more goals in that game. He hit the crossbar with a stunning long-range strike, and he's full of confidence at the moment. And a confident Marcus Rashford is difficult for any defence to deal with, never mind a makeshift one that City are currently operating with without the likes of Aymeric Laporte available to them. So I think Rashford will have a bit of a field day in this game. The counter-attacking style that Manchester United will probably play will suit his pace in behind, and, you've got to back him to score.
I do like Marcus Rashford's chances of scoring in this game, so I'm going to give that round to Tom and level it up going into the last round. So round 3, the decider then is long shot bets. And James, I understand you've gone down the route of bookings for this one.
I have. I've gone for a double in the yellow card market, but it's a player from each team as well, because obviously it is a derby. It can get quite feisty. We saw that in the Liverpool-Everton derby in midweek. There was a few bookings that came in that game. So I just think that both sides may be finding themselves into the book. Now, the 2 players I picked out are John Stones. Now, he hasn't actually been booked this season, but I just think United do have, although they won't win the game, they do have some quick and pacey players. So a Rashford, a Dan James, some of that running at Stones might be a little bit susceptible in the game. The other one, which I think is pretty much a nailed-on booking, is Fred for Manchester United, to be quite honest. Yes. Now, he has had some shocking performances this season. He gets into some awful positions as well. Centre midfield, when you've got a player like De Bruyne, you know, Jesus and there's Sterling, people running at you, he'll be expected to track back in. I mean, I've seen him quite a few times putting some horrible little challenges on the edge of the box and give away free kicks. So for me, the double on that for the yellow cards, it's 16-1 if you have the double on that.
Now, Tom, I know you've gone really big with your long shot bet. What have you picked out?
Yeah, I've taken long and I've ran with it.
Yeah.
I've gone 90-1. It is for Manchester United to win by 3-2. An exact score is my prediction. This was the result the last time Manchester United won at the Etihad Stadium. Paul Pogba scored a brace on that occasion. And I do think United will win. But if they're going to do so, it's likely to be with quite a few goals in the contest. I mentioned Manchester City defensively, not that strong at the moment, not got their first-team players necessarily available. United, it's been well documented their struggles in keeping clean sheets, particularly on the road. They conceded 3 against Sheffield United the other week, and all due respect to Sheffield United, their strike fortress is not as strong as Manchester City, so there should be a lot of goals in the game. I'm thinking a 3-2 scoreline, plenty of entertainment, and a memorable victory for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's team.
I like your bravery, Tom, but that's just too big for me. So I'm going to give it to James for this one in the bookings market. So City win this head-to-head by 2-1 in the end, although Tom is hoping for a lot more goals than that come Saturday evening. That is your lot then for this edition of Head to Head. Don't forget to follow us on social media to stay up to date with everything we do and subscribe to the YouTube channel.